Oh, are we streaming?
Yep.
But we're having connection issues. Look, I'm frozen. Oh, wait a minute. Let me take that one out and let's put this one on. Oh, goodness. We're having technical difficulties this morning, guys. Not exactly sure why. Oh, I'm on two different cameras. Let's leave that one. All right. That might be the one. Oh, we may have it. We may have something. Okay. All right. Can you hear me? You can hear me? Let's see if this is going to work. Your mic is muted, but it says, oh, this might work. Thanks, guys, for dealing with me during all my technical difficulties and all that other jazz. I didn't realize I was on two different screens. All right. Let me make sure my phone is off. We're going to go in. I have Michael Arnold, right?
Yes.
Two first names.
Yeah.
You
I
get
keep
that a
on
lot?
getting out every.
You get that a lot?
Last night I got it all night. How did that work out? Like I got it all night last night. It is. I don't understand it. That's just my brother has same like my brother's first name is Gordon, so his
Really?
is even.
All right. Well, we're going to go right on in.
All right.
Here we go.
You are now tuned in to Today with Pastor J on WNZF News Radio, where we discuss inspiring and informative news. And now here's your host, Pastor Jearlyn Dennie.
Good morning and wake up. Good morning. It's a good, great, and wonderful day to be alive. And I'm just excited about it. By the time this show airs, we've been probably about 3-4 days outside of the mayoral election. But we're recording the immediate day after, right?
It's been a roller coaster.
I don't forgot what day it is. I'm just grateful and thankful that the mayoral race is over. My guest this morning, my co-host, I should say, is Michael Arnold. Michael, what's it like to have two first names? Let's get that out.
I don't even realize it.
You don't realize it?
No.
Yeah, you were on my show last week. We had a good time. We had an excellent show, at least I thought.
Yeah,
so I
I
said
think
I'll
we-
invite you back, and we'll just talk about what the happenings around.
There's a lot going on. This city is busy. There's a lot of people out here that are working pretty hard to try to help the city resolve its issues and to try to move forward. And I think that hopefully we can all stand together and see the end of this.
So what do you think about this mayoral race? Let's just get into the nitty gritty of it. I mean, I'll say what I'm thinking, but you just tell me what you are thinking, because this was some race.
I think that there was a lot of misinformation that happens inside of here. I try to pride myself in making sure I look at information and the news organizations and things that I associate myself with. I think that there was a lot of mudslinging and dirt going around.
You think? Oh, you think there was a lot of mudslinging?
I think it was painful for a lot of different individuals. We learned a lot about some individuals that we didn't know, things that we didn't know about them. And the other ones, I think that there was a couple of individuals who stood out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe have some opportunities down the road. I am not happy with the election results. I think that kind of goes without saying, but in the grand scheme of things, we still got to fight through it. We still got to figure out how we're going to handle this. And if we're going to, we still need to be a community. We still need to think about each other. We still need to stay focused and make sure that, the people who are in our offices, that we hold them accountable. We make sure that they are properly informed, making sure that they are making the proper decisions in light of what our expectations are as a community, as a city. The money, that's my biggest concern. Stuff is just hitting my desk yesterday morning that I just got about money again, and it's I think that we need to find individuals and hold them accountable for being conservative.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I was disappointed in the entire process. So much mudslinging and things that were going on that I didn't like. My phone is full of text messages. I didn't delete them. I'm going to tell you, there's some people I had respect for that I absolutely lost respect for in this election.
Me too.
Absolutely lost respect. I just don't like nasty. I don't like nastiness. I don't like nasty people. I don't like, a person that spends time assassinating the character of another has a problem with their own.
Truth.
That's just real talk. A person that spends that kind of time. I'm real disappointed in the character assassinations, the text messages that I had received. I'm not just from any one side. I'm going to say all of them. Well, there's some, I'm not going to say all of them. There were several candidates that didn't participate in any of the mudslinging. But I was disappointed. I was disappointed in our news outlets. Local newspapers and things, because obviously they completely slanted and one-sided. They reported what they wanted to report. I got a lot of that from people. I was like, let me just read it. Let me just see what's going on. And then I was like, wow, it was pretty bad. So I think a lot of people took their personal stuff and kind of just threw it in there. I did my best to stay out of it. I really did. I did my best to stay out of it.
I don't know how you bite your tongue, because here you are, you're a strong member of our community. A lot of people turn to you.
I know.
And you have to keep your head on that straight and narrow.
I don't have to, but I have to.
That's the thing. And
I need to.
That's strength.
I'm gonna tell you, it takes a lot of strength for me to be quiet. But that shows you that the Holy Ghost is working in my life. That's a testament of the Holy Ghost.
Does St. Clair get it when you walk in the house? Does he get the full?
Hears it.
Okay.
Let me tell you, we have these conversations. St. Clair, my husband, of course. We talk about the cabal. Let's just be real.
Okay.
There is a cabal. Did you know that there's a cabal? I did not know there was a cabal in Palm Coast. Cabal is a secret political clique or faction.
Oh, I knew that. Yeah, that's
so
obvious.
that's what the cabal is. There is a cabal in Palm Coast because there's a secret political clique. I need to do a whole show and expose who the members of the cabal are.
Yeah, I'm game. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do the homework.
Yeah. And the players, you would be surprised who the players are. I know who some of the players are. Some of these players know me. They probably love me and respect me. And if I call them out on radio, I'll probably get some hate mail, which I get that anyway. They can
so do I. I'm cool with it though.
But it's just I don't the intentions behind it and why they're doing it. First, I want to say, David Alfin won. I probably should mention that. Forgot that part. He won, and the cabal was behind him. Let's just be real.
I'm
not saying he wasn't the best candidate for the job or the worst candidate for the job, but the cabal supported him. That secret organization did that. They really did. But the people spoke out. Manfrey did an excellent job in the race. Lowe did an excellent job in the race. Let me look at the things. The mail-in ballots go to show those mail-in ballots are what put people over the edge. People crying that there's been some kind of, somebody stole election. I heard that. But let me tell you, we have a fantastic supervisor of election. I want to give a shout out to Katie Linhart. She does an excellent job.
That poor woman, if ever there was whips cracked, it was this one. And how she maintained her composure while staying on the straight and narrow and not losing her mind and wanting to. She probably was sitting at home. Maybe I think she might have hit a punching bag a few times.
Yeah, well, let me tell you what happened. So last night, our Pachyderm Club, we had our watch party. Mm-hmm. And all candidates were invited. Of course, we didn't endorse anyone during a race, those type things. So everyone was invited. We had a few candidates come by. However, what most people don't know is, I'm going to tell it, Katie Linhart, I'm saying her husband, Byron, he came to the Hilton because we was at the Hilton.
Okay.
The election was over. The results were in. She hadn't certified the election yet. So they figured, they're just going to go and stay a night at the Hilton and relax.
Okay.
She walked in. What do you think she saw?
You.
Well, it wasn't me. She saw our club. She saw our whole group. So State Committee woman Sharon Demers comes in. She said the husband walked in turned around and walked out and said, we are not going up in there. So I called Katie on her cell phone. I'm like, Katie, where you going? She started laughing. I was like, we're not going to say anything. We're not going to do anything. She just done. She was like, I'm done. I just wanted to have a quiet moment, but I'm going home.
I threw a couple whammies at her myself. I
You
was like,
did?
yeah, no, not like being negative towards her. I was like,
Katie's awesome.
so, you know, the scary thing for me with this whole election is something that came to light, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. The fact that we do not background check our elected officials, that hit me like a ton of bricks. You know, I think that individuals doing what I do for a living, I have to go through a level 3 background check. And I think that if we started doing that, then we would find, and we could basically, you know, if individuals got a dirty past, if you have, you know, tax liens and stuff like that, how can you manage money and manage a city if you can't keep your own stuff in check? There's accountability that has to be had with that. Give me your opinion. Yes. You tell me.
No. Look, I have my opinion. If I want yours, I give it to you. No, I'm just joking.
That's why you're awesome. I can't even tell you.
I mean, I can see that in some way, but in another way, I don't know. I come from a place of grace.
Okay.
Everybody has something.
Everybody's got something.
There's dirt on someone, and I'm going to tell you right now, everyone has committed a crime. Just like everyone has committed sin. Everybody has. Not everyone has been caught. Let's just be real.
Well, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So for that standard to be the standard and standard alone, no. Okay. So someone has a tax lien. Was there someone that had a tax lien in this race?
There was one individual that had judgments against, one or two individuals that had judgments against them. Stuff like that. And the only reason I say.
All right. So my thing is this. Maybe they went through a tough time. You know,
maybe
there were medical issues or health issues, or, you know, that doesn't necessarily indicate a person.
No.
You know what I mean?
And that's why whenever you go through any type of a background check, they ask you naturally what happened here. Right. And is that so?
But see, you're talking about opening up a person's life, and then for other people to sit there and stand in judgment over them of their past. I'm so grateful and thankful, and this is a time for me to put in, that Jesus Christ don't hold my past or your past against you. Once we accept them as, you know, as our Lord and Savior, he has taken all of that and has thrown it in the sea of forgetfulness. But people don't ever forget. We're going to talk about those things when we come back. We got to take a break. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay. Welcome back. You're listening to Today with Pastor Jay, and I have Michael Arnold, and we're just having candid conversation, and he thinks that we should background check all elected officials. And, you know, I've seen people commit some heinous crimes and turn their life around and have been
amazing,
phenomenal
huge
people. You know what I mean?
Huge.
And I have an issue with that. I don't know that a person's past should deter them from running. We've got some good people.
We do. This city has a lot of great people, and let's think. And here's my take on it.
We just need some good people.
So
you know?
The reason why I bring it up is that, you know, as far as committed fraud of any kind, as far as, so yes, you can have certain things financially that come down in your pipeline that you're not ready for financially.
Right.
You know, we all know, like the birth of a child. That's $10,000 out the window that day. Just, you know,
don't get me started. Look,
so I think
suffering from PTSD, so thinking about all that and raise 7 kids.
So, you know, you have individuals like Katie, and no individual's background should be made public. That is considered private. Everybody reserves their right to privacy. You know, but there has to be certain guidelines that can be added into play.
I think we should know stuff about people. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I just don't think those things should disqualify a person from serving in public office. You know, David Alfin, people made a big deal over the fact that I guess he had 2 DUIs. I don't know if those are true, by the way. I'm gonna say, I don't know if that's real talk. I didn't look the guy up. I didn't do research.
Yeah, I'm not.
Just so you know, I didn't do any of that. But these were some of the things that were posted. So does that mean that he shouldn't be mayor because of that?
I don't think that a DU.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not making light of that.
Yeah,
because people have been killed, you know, because
exactly,
of drunk drivers.
And that's
we've
the
got
time.
Wonderful organizations. I'm not
Yeah.
So I guess that is up to the individual.
Yeah.
Alan Lowe, he didn't vote until I don't know what year he started voting or whatever. And people say, oh, that disqualifies him because he never voted before. I didn't consider that as a disqualification because he had never,
that I didn't.
I thought that took courage for someone who had never been involved in politics to step up, actually devote,
learn as you go.
Yeah, learn and devote your life into. I didn't take that as a disqualifier, but other people may. So when you talk, so obviously, people thought because he didn't vote before that was a big deal, and other people didn't think DUIs mattered. So it's in the perspective of the,
everybody. This is what our city is divided. There is, we're in many different
again,
places.
we get back to the cabal.
We are divided, and there is a level of intellect inside of this city that even I wasn't expecting until I started learning and started listening myself and started hearing it. And, you bring up these secret organizations and this cabal stuff, and they exist everywhere. I worked in Manhattan. You can't talk about it.
Yeah, that's true. I'm surprised to see a lot of people that I know, and I don't think they even realize that they're contributing to the secrecy. We've got people that, think they can create and break people here in little Flagler County, and no one knows this, but this is real talk. This is for real. I'm not talking in circles. I'm just trying to be nice and not call people out on a Sunday morning. I want to. That's the flesh in me.
It's still God's day.
Listen, the flesh in me wanting to do it. And the Holy Spirit said, shut up.
It's supposed to be God's day today. We got to
But let me tell you this, though. It doesn't, I'm come from, the God still is in control of the government. And he allow people to be in place. He allow things to happen. I mean, look at Mayor Holland. She was reelected last year, and then she resigned. Her circumstances are her personal business. I'm not going to get into that, how she did it. And, everybody's saying, oh, she's under ethics complaint. She this and that, regardless. That's her life. That's her personal business. Should she be accountable to the citizens of Palm Coast? Anyone that's in an elected position should be accountable to the citizens, because period, no matter what. That includes county commission and, whatever other elected position. At the same time, as we need to move forward. How do we move forward and heal from all of this? And as I was saying, God is in control. I don't care who's in charge. God's in charge. If any singular person think they're in a position of authority and that they can do what they want to do and how they want to do it, I'm telling you right now, God isn't sleeping. He's not sleeping.
It clearly says, you stand in judgment and you will be. Now, okay.
So I know even if somebody, want to do wrong or decide to do wrong or any of those things, God's going to work it out for my good. Anyway.
Do you think, now here we are, I'm sitting across from one of our community leaders, okay? And, being one of our community leaders, do you think that you could truly, let's say if I sat on the other side of the fence as you, okay?
What side of the fence I'm on?
Obviously. So okay. Sun Tzu. I read Sun Tzu in The Art of War.
Oh, I love that.
And one of the things that
I carry a copy of that with me.
That's some of the teachings in that book is unbelievable. But in Sun Tzu, he says, "Take all under heaven intact." You take them for who they are, who and not who you want them to be.
Right.
And I also read Alexander the Great and how when he got done going to war and battle and so on and so forth, he partied and, celebrated and with the people of that village and then unloaded massive amounts of resources to them. I do turn to you and look at you as one of our community leaders, and, maybe that's something that we can all sit there and try to figure out together, but you're reading something right now, and I know
I am,
you gotta go.
I had to pull up some Sun Tzu quotes. He said, "The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting."
Win all without fighting. Win all without fighting. That's it.
Listen, let me tell you something. Oh, you're gonna start me preaching this morning because the God I serve is the God of war. He absolutely, and in him there is no defeat. There is no defeat in God. But I really want Palm Coast to heal. And I don't know how we're going to heal moving forward. I'll be praying for healing. I'm praying, we need more good citizens to get involved in politics. More good citizens to get involved.
I think that
we absolutely.
Everybody talks about our last president, our former president. Hopefully in some way, shape, or form, this drives change. This can make individuals look at it and say, you and I spoke to a young gentleman yesterday. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He has intentions now on moving forward and running for city council. I'm not going
Yes,
to name drop it.
He did.
He is a
young guy.
This guy can bench press a small car.
Yes, he can.
So
he looks like he can anyway.
And in that grand scheme, so
military combat veteran,
a combat medic.
Combat medic.
So we kind of look at individuals.
He can knock them out and revive them. That's kind of.
I'm going to tell you right now. No, I'm not going into an arm wrestling contest with this gentleman.
He can knock you out and revive you. I ain't mad at him.
So, I think that maybe it's time for a change of the guard. Maybe it's time to get younger generations coming forward.
I think you're right.
Maybe it is time because, my wife asked. I asked my wife one time, and I said, babe, can I run for politics? And she said very clearly her answer.
I would never, ever. I will run away from politics.
I think
that right now.
I think that I'm not a politician. I know my role and I stay in my lane. I love what I do.
I'm not a member of the cabal and I can't be bought. So
yeah, that's the one thing
that
is
with me.
Somebody there's people out there talking about kingmakers, and now that you bring this up, oh man, this makes me laugh. I sat in front of Wall Street's top 10 most powerful and influential financial individuals ever. And there's people around here calling themselves kingmakers. I watched more kings get made in a week than this city could produce in a lifetime.
Well, we've got to take a break, and I'm going to tell you right now that there is only one king. He's the King of Kings. His name is Jesus Christ. Y'all mess with me. Listen. Don't get me started. We got to go. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that down. We got to take a break. Do I have 3 minutes? I didn't even get into Simone. Let me pick that up. Right. All right. We can talk about that all day long. Oh, here we go. Wow. Okay. You ready? I want to give a shout out and a thank you to thefloridamortgagecenter.com, 500bankruptcy.com, and tradecoaches.org. Thank you for sponsoring our show. Before the break, we was talking about all that. I was talking about the King of Kings. I was getting ready to go in. Look, I'll take my king against any king, okay? Listen, I'm one of his favorites. He loves me. Look, my God loves me. There is favor on my life. I posted something on Facebook the other
my wife and I were talking about that last night
too. They've conspired, they whispered, they conspired against me. And God still favors me. They lied. Hey. God still listen, I put my king against any king. But before we go, there's something else that happened this week. Simone Biles, she shocked the Olympic world when she pulled out of the U.S. team gymnastics finals. Said the emotional toll of the Tokyo Games, not a physical injury, prompted her to withdraw. Physically, she says she feels good. She's in shape. Emotionally, it varies on the time and a moment. Coming to the Olympic because, she's the head star. They consider her the GOAT.
Can that be that the individual actually suffers from emotional or mental something? That's that she kind of indicated in that way. Well, and when you listen to the words, she says it. So, if there is something that she needs to do to get help, if a person is suffering from a mental or emotional issue, mental issue, they could have something wrong going on with them. Now that you tell me that, I have mixed emotions on things.
Well, my daughter read to me yesterday an Instagram post. I don't know if it's real or true because I asked her to send it to me, but these teenagers, she ain't had time, I guess, between band camp. Let me check my other phone to see if I got it. But she read to me an Instagram post about how she was stepping down because of sexual assault within the. Have you heard that? Within the
Yo,
gymnasts and stuff and
see, now
everything?
I want to get up and I want to.
Yeah, there's a guy that has been sexually assaulting all these gymnasts all these years, and
So another part of the, and
so
I'm not putting
now,
down the Me Too
again,
movement.
I haven't,
If that turns out to be,
right.
we were talking
And that-
about accountability.
That's it. Got to be accountable.
And if there is, I pray to God that she has the proof so that this individual can face what they need to face.
Yeah.
Because, I'm sitting here, the father of a 6-year-old little girl.
Mm-hmm.
May God have mercy on her because I'm not going to,
Right.
and that's the thing. And if that's the case, like I said, there's a mental and emotional thing. And now that you hear that, can we really look at her and say she wasn't there for her team? Can we be negative about it? Let the truth, sooner or later, the truth comes out. That's the reality of life.
That is true. Okay. Oh, here it is. Larry Nassar's abuse of gymnasts, including Simone Biles, went back. It's on USA Today. Went back decades. Why it still matters in Tokyo. I'm just Googling this. Yeah, they stumbled. That's what they're saying. They get a fresh start. But
Here we go.
It's coming out, the sexual assault. So the post that my daughter had read to me that was on Instagram was saying that now more than ever, she's having to take a stand. She's devoting to her mental health.
Mm-hmm.
But it's important now
That's
that
going to take a
people
lifetime.
that people have an opportunity to hear and see. And because she is such a phenomenal gymnast,
Okay.
that hopefully that her speaking out against him and against the sexual assault, it's a horrible thing.
And
again, I don't
there's-
know if what's true, what's not true, but I'm just reading some of the things that.
If it is true, she deserves to get somebody behind her
Yeah.
to truly help coach her and guide her how to recover from this.
Absolutely. Yeah. Here's a story here talking about her mom recalls sexual abuse trauma. They cried together. She opened up and finally poured out her abuse at the hands of the former USA gymnast doctor, Larry Nassar.
Then you gotta let this
So
poor
that
little
was
girl.
part of her reason for pulling out. The doctor, and he has sexually abused. I mean, I'm a survivor of sexual abuse, so I'm really just going to try to, keep going. Clinton Huggins said he is in prison for life. So not
But we ain't.
realizing,
I
not
mean,
realizing, that
the damage,
the damage that
the
goes.
outcome. Thank you, Clinton. I think you're the bomb.
It's a horrible. It is an absolute horrible thing to suffer sexual assault and abuse, even as a child. And I'm going to tell you, there are days I'm grateful for my husband because the Lord has used my husband to heal me in areas of my life where I thought I could not be healed.
Mm-hmm.
5 months into my marriage, he told me I was pure. So when you've been a victim of sexual assault,
yeah,
and someone calls you pure, it's nobody but God. He has a new nickname for me now. When we was in Texas, he calls me flawless. Isn't that super cool? So
you got to respect.
God has used my husband to heal me in so many ways, and I just, but even when areas where I have been healed, sometimes it is a struggle.
That affected my family as well. It affected an individual,
Right.
And I'm not going to put my family stuff
Right.
out there, but that has had an impact through generations.
It has. It is.
And
It
it's
really
not.
truly has.
So if this poor young woman has been assaulted or abused in any way, shape, or form, somebody needs to get out there and go help this poor little girl get the healing she deserves, because
Right.
then she can have a healthier marriage. Then she can have the people,
Absolutely.
and that's what she
Absolutely.
deserves.
She deserves it. She really does. Not just her, but all victims of any type of sexual assault.
It's the reality.
It's a horrific thing, but we just thank God. I serve a healer. Let me tell you,
Right.
God can say, I'm just talking about the Lord today because I'm just so happy. He is a healer. He heals those who are brokenhearted. He can heal you from the inside out, heal your emotions. He can reset you and put you back to perfect. That's why when you talk about people's past and all that, I don't get caught up on that hype because I serve a God that's just so good and so full of grace and love and
you do
mercy.
deserve a chance to be healed. You deserve a chance to recover yourself.
You do. In every area, even if you've done wrong or you've committed a crime or you've done horrible things, you have an opportunity through Jesus Christ to completely have a reset in life. So I don't want to say that there's no hope for those, especially in politics or any area. Listen, submit yourself to the Lord,
Everybody, regardless of the God in which you serve, because I have friends who are Jewish, I have friends who are Muslim, I have friends from all walks of life, and I love them all
Right.
equally. So regardless, but we can really just try to help each other out. That's
Right.
what I'm thinking.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this
You know I'm gonna hang
conversation.
out with you. I like hanging out with you.
I gotta get you to come back. We have some good talk. Thank you, guys. You know what I say? Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's not promised. What are you gonna do today? Today, you're gonna look at the Lord and say, God, I just thank you. If it hadn't been for him, where would we be? All right, guys, let's heal. Let's move forward together. God bless you and have a great day.
Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.